I'd like to call the meeting to order. Secretary Myers, please call the roll.
Skip Berry. Alex Boone. Here. Brett Bachman.
Here.
Todd Case.
Here.
McKenna Dow. Here. Dave Figg. Here. Ron Gohagan. Here. Brenda Gosney. Here. Jim Gray. Janie Greer. Here. Lance Lucas.
Here.
Elizabeth McCoy. Here. Karen Patrone. Here. Paula Pope. Here. Frank Schwoop.
Here.
Zach Stacy. Here. Holly Swanson. Here. Bob Vance.
Here.
Clark Williams.
Here.
Elaine Wilson. Chairman Brockman, we have 20 in attendance and we have a quorum.
Thank you, Secretary Myers. The minutes from the October 17th meeting have been distributed. I hope everyone's had an opportunity to review them. Do I hear a motion for approval of October 17th? It's been moved by Trustee Vance, seconded by Trustee Figg. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The minutes pass. Thank you. I'd like to welcome those joining us this afternoon on a special live stream of the beginning of today's Board of Trustees meeting. Before turning it over to the President for his report, we would like to play a special video announcement. President Capilouto will follow with his report. Thank you.
There was nothing more dear to Mr. Gatton than the Commonwealth. And we were in and of his heart. Mr. Gatton has made so much possible that we would have never known in the way of extraordinary facilities in agriculture, business, extension offices. But a common thread through all of this is the common good for the Commonwealth, which he loves so dearly. I remember the day we honored Mr. Gatton at the Gatton Student Center. And we had our student musicians and choral groups, and when they sang My Old Kentucky Home. I have a picture of it. He stood, he put his hand over his heart. So I know the art stirred him. You know, here was this firm, high-standard businessman, but the arts meant something to him. So I think in so many ways, the arts are important to our campus, Mr. Gatton, Kentucky, and our students. I'm happy to announce the largest gift in the history of the University of Kentucky. And again, like the previous largest gift, is made by the Gatton Foundation in honor and in memory of Mr. Bill Gatton. And what they're going to make possible through a $150 million gift is the construction of a state-of-the-art arts district. We're going to be able to bring together our arts programs, not only just within the College of Fine Arts, but imagine what this area is going to look like. You're going to have a proscenium theater. You're going to have recital halls, practice venues. We'll have an outdoor pavilion. We'll have dining. We're going to have a park in the middle of this. So this is going to be a place to gather, a place to be inspired. So this creates a vibrant district of connection that we know is going to further foster creativity. Our arts in many ways heal and stir souls. And just like everything on our campus, it takes incredible talent, which we're blessed to have, and it takes infrastructure. And through this generosity, we're going to be able to build that kind of infrastructure that honors Mr. Gatton's memory and allows our faculty and students to realize the depth and breadth of what can be miraculously revealed through the arts. you. So you can tell, Mr. Gatton has left this earth, but he has never left my heart or my head. And when it comes to UK and the Commonwealth, he's always in my presence. And especially on days like this when we honor the legacy and the future he continues to make possible. When making decisions about his beloved alma mater, I often ask myself, what would Mr. Gatton think? My first serious discussion with Mr. Gatton was nearly 14 years ago at Maxwell Place. He arrived with an inch-thick folder packed with his dream, plans for his dream, for a new building for the Gatton College of Business and Economics. It was to be state-of-the-art, to evoke feelings of grandeur and excellence, like those he experienced when he toured the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania, where he received his MBA. And true to his character, he wished for Kentuckians to be educated in halls as fine as those that you could find in the elite universities. Mr. Gatton's folder also included what he believed were unfulfilled commitments to construct an entirely new facility really distant from the center of campus. He heard me state months before at my investiture that we will rebuild this campus. And to say the least, he had high expectations for results, and he made clear he wanted them quickly. So I had to tell Mr. Gatton I wanted UK to meet the commitment to him to build this new business school, but after examining that plan, I didn't think it would work. At least not how it initially had been conceptualized. I told him we needed to be bold, but we also needed to do something that was possible. It was too costly and depended substantially on state support during uncertain times following the Great Recession. And it also moved business, our faculty and students, away from the heart of campus. But we agreed, no matter what, we needed to move forward on the project. So I asked Mr. Gatton if he would let us hire an architect to explore remodeling the present facility and adding on to our business school, a plan that would house everything envisioned in the new building at a little less cost. Plus, I told him we would keep the faculty and students close by other colleges and schools, like law, engineering, Patterson, and Martin. I said to Mr. Gatton, proximity matters when it comes to collaboration. So after some of the more memorable and longest, most intense hours of discussions and negotiations, Mr. Gatton and I shook hands on a deal. UK could determine whether a significant renovation and addition could hold the same promise and offer the same impact as a plan for an entirely new building. So what did I learn that day? Well, without a doubt, Bill Gatton is a tough negotiator. But equally, he loved Kentucky, and it was bone deep. He was a man carved from bedrock, unwavering in his principles. He was fair, he was honest. He was a man of integrity, high character, and lofty ideals. He could be firm and unyielding in his principles, yet always guided by a deep belief in what was right for Kentucky and her people. And he believed Kentuckians deserved the best. from greater opportunities to better facilities. Over the years, I was reminded of what made this man who he was. After concluding one discussion with him at Maxwell Place, I was going to walk him to his car. I'll never forget, he was driving a white Honda Accord. As we approached the car, I told him, "Oh, Mary Lynn and I, we love that Honda Accord. And we really like the LX Honda Accord because it has leather seats and a 6-cylinder engine." When I got to the ar and I looked down and saw those cloth seats, and then he spun around and said to me, "All you ever need are 4 cylinders." So Mr. Gatton could never be accused of being a spendthrift for himself. Far from it. He made money not for comfort, but for consequence, so he could give more to the students who he believed were Kentucky's future, and to a university he knew could change the trajectory of the state. That heart and those beliefs drove investments and gifts he made across the campus. The Gatton College of Business and Economics, this very Gatton Student Center, endowed chairs and professorships for faculty, scholarships for students with promise and those with financial need, who reminded him of his home in Muhlenberg County. But I really relished most my other conversations with Mr. Gatton, in which his softer side was revealed. In these moments, he displayed love of family and others dear. And for those with misfortune who were always on his mind. He often told me how he would trade all his wealth if money could lead to a cure for the incurable, or the solution to an insoluble problem or challenge. Of course, most of us didn't see that softer side of Mr. Gatton. Only a few moments would ever trigger a public display of the emotions he kept so closely within him. More often than not, when I saw them, or you may have seen them on his face or heard them in his voice that may have quivered, it was usually because the words of a poet or the notes and thoughts of a composer and lyricist that would bring these emotions to light. You could see in him the precious belief, as reflected in his favorite poem, that success mattered only if it became a bridge, something sturdy enough for a young person, unknown to him, to cross into a better life. And when Mr. Gatton read that poem, you all know it, The Bridge Builder, you knew he had found the words that captured his purpose, his reason for being. In the words of that poet, the builder lifted his old gray head. "Good friend, in the path I have come," he said, "there followed after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that has been as naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I'm building this bridge for him." So the poet's words were a mirror of his own life. And that same quiet depth he held close surfaced, as you saw here, when he placed his hand over his heart and joined in the singing of My Old Kentucky Home. The tears that flowed down his cheeks were, to me, not just a display of his affection for Kentucky. They were the thirst-quenching rain on Kentucky soil, where ideas were nourished and young men and women, with the right support, could grow strong and ready for lives of meaning and purpose. But isn't this what the arts is for all of us? They stir our souls, they heal our broken hearts, they remind us, even in the most challenging of moments and stressful of times, of our common humanity, fragile but beautiful when shared. The arts, quite simply, reveal to us who we are while we are here, and they show us, gently and insistently, who we must still become. They bind us to our past and inspire us to persist and persevere against great odds, aspiring to reach what might be possible. Nearly 2 years ago, when Danny Dunn pulled his chair close to mine during a conversation at Maxwell Place, he challenged me to consider something transformational, something big and bold, he said, that would extend Mr. Gatton's dream of one university becoming an even greater university. And once again, my thoughts return to what I hold dear as Mr. Gatton's tender moments that only the arts revealed. So what do the arts mean at UK? It's a play Mary Lynn and I saw early in our time with you, where a faculty member of the college had directed his students to review the oral histories that were in our archives of Iraqi war veterans who had been injured. They produced a moving play that showed us the cost of conflict in the lives of those who sacrificed for our freedoms. It is the art of our faculty, created, that adorns the walls and ceilings of the Gatton College of Business. That's only our faculty's art. Or if you go to the mezzanine, on the mezzanine level of our Chandler Hospital, and see that montage of photographs of Kentuckians fading in and out. Or a hospital adorned with Kentucky art that instills warmth and comfort in a place that offers healing and hope when patients feel sick, alone, afraid, and far from home. It's thousands of fans singing the national anthem together at Kroger Field and Rupp Arena, led by our own impresario of opera, who in a few weeks will again lead a packed house of voices at the Lincoln Center in the singing of Handel's Messiah. And yet, it is never solely about the notes themselves, or one play, or a single work of art. It's about community. Community. That too was at the heart of Mr. Gatton's purpose. It's the community, strengthened and sustained by a professor in the College of Fine Arts, who does her sabbatical in a county school where children are hurting from an opioid epidemic that has robbed them of their parents. She gives them hope, a window that lets enough light in for a child to dream beyond what they know and dream about what could be possible. It's about the first fine arts extension agent in the country, who brings together citizens of a rural county, old and young alike, to produce and perform plays and recitals. It's about student symphonies, bands, choral groups, and plays whose participants are more likely to be non-music and non-theater majors. But the arts, it gives them an instrument to unlock the creativity, their creativity, in ways that are going to make them even better students, doctors, lawyers, and engineers. It is a performance this coming February entitled Violins of Hope, in which our musicians will use the rescued and restored Holocaust-era instruments to remind us of what we should never forget, and that the human spirit can prevail over evil and hate. As we have discussed many times before, everything we do on this campus depends and is built on talent and infrastructure. The talent of committed and compassionate people in facilities and buildings that support and extend their work. Our souls reside in the bricks and in the people. From our academic research and health centers, from our athletic facilities, Kroger Field, Kentucky Crowd Park, and historic Memorial Coliseum. From every corner of our campus, donors and policymakers have supported the buildings that nurture talent and enable extraordinary work. All of what we do as a community, what is built, nurtured, discovered, and shared here, is the product of talent and infrastructure. And like other districts on this campus, agriculture, research, or medical, it is time for the talent of the arts to have a state-of-the-art home. A home worthy of their power. A district where creativity can breathe and talent can flourish. A place to unlock and unleash the individual and shared creativity so present in our midst. After all, we can heal bodies in our hospitals. We can transform communities with discovery that finds solutions and service that changes lives. We can prepare students for careers in far-flung and divergent fields that require deep knowledge or refined technical skills. But the arts do something else. They take our hearts where they should be and repair them, and those of others if need be. They stir and heal souls and bring peace. They create a passion that yields purpose and provides meaning. Mr. Gatton knew all that, and those who are here with us today from his foundation, the foundation that bears his name, understand that as well. And they know something else. For Mr. Gatton, it was always about Kentucky. Even when he moved to another state, he never left this place, not in his mind, his priorities, or his generosity. And he knew what this community could mean for her future. For us, like Mr. Gatton, it is always about Kentucky. So today we're reminded of what one life, lived with purpose, driven by love for his home, can make possible. And we're reminded of our calling, our promise to Mr. Gatton and the state he loved to carry that legacy forward with and for Kentucky. So, Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to invite Dr. Everett McCorvey. By the way, Mr. Gatton always asked me, could you get Everett McCorvey to sing the national anthem at the Final Four? I'm still working on it, Mr. Gatton. But Everett's coming forward with his students from the University of Kentucky College of Fine Arts Opera Theater Program. And they're going to lead us in Mr. Gatton's favorite song, My Old Kentucky Home. Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I would like to ask Danny Dunn, Mr. Gatton's longtime advisor, friend, and the trustee of the Bill Gatton Foundation, to come forward and share a few words with us.
I know the students have left, but Dr. McCorvey's still here. Dr. McCorvey, Mr. Gatton's not here physically, but I assure you he heard what you just sang. Thank you so much. It seems a little unfair that President would put me after him in this song. Your thoughts were beautiful, and the song was beautiful. I've thought a lot about this gift and it going to the arts. I absolutely love President Caputo's comments here about what the arts do for us. They stir my souls. I can't imagine there's not one person in this room whose soul was not stirred from that song. They heal my hearts. A song like this heals my heart, and it healed Mr. Gatton's heart every time he heard it. Not only did he want Dr. McCorvey to sing the national anthem at Final Four, he wanted him to sing that song at every event here on campus, all the football games and basketball games. You know, the arts do help me in challenging moments, and my guess is they help you. I love this statement that he made a moment ago. They bind us to our past. I can't imagine the thoughts that are going through you Kentuckians as you heard this song regarding moments of your childhood. of your teenage life, of your time here at the university. I think the arts do inspire us. Thank you for those comments. I'm privileged to be here. I'm actually tremendously honored to be here. I'm the luckiest person in the world. I've often thought so many times why my career took me to Bristol, Tennessee, to spend some time with Mr. Gatton, to get to know him. It changed my life in so many ways. You've heard me, some of you have heard me make the comments I'm going to make. They'll be very brief about Mr. Gatton's love for this state and this university. But I'm motivated every time I make a presentation to share these few short thoughts. I hope you'll never, ever forget the love that he had for the state of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and this university. Mr. Winston, who was a dear friend of his and mine, who was a trustee as well, he was really probably the second person Mr. Gatton met in Kentucky or in Tennessee when he moved to Bristol. He was Mr. Gatton's attorney. Some of you know him. In Mr. Gatton's obituary, Mr. Winston penned the phrase, "Though Mr. Gatton lived in Upper East Tennessee the last 55 years of his life, his heart never left Kentucky." I made a comment at the dedication of the Gatton Park, a comment I've heard Mr. Gatton say many times, and he often would say, when people die in Kentucky, they don't want to go to heaven, they want to go to Lexington. And not only the community of Lexington, of course, but the university. He loved the university, and he loved the city. And then the statement, the experience I had so many times with him that I cherish, really, was the many trips that we made from Tennessee to Kentucky when we would go through Cumberland Gap and pass over the state line. And without exception, and you've heard me say this, many of you, he would always look at me and he'd say, "Danny, the sun just got a little brighter, the grass a little greener, and the flowers more beautiful." He loved his Commonwealth, and he loved this university. Everything I'm doing as a trustee for Mr. Gatton's Foundation is to honor his legacy, to extend his legacy. This gift will do that. This gift will continue to do that in a remarkable way. President Capilotto, your words were poetic for me. He gave me the opportunity to read those words before today, and I thank you for that. I've read them 2 or 3 times already. I hope they're published. You all should read them again when you sit down and read them and really think about what he said. It's powerful. I feel inadequate to add anything to what you said about Mr. Gatton, other than to say that I love Mr. Gatton. He and I had many personal experiences together that I will always be grateful for. He has done much for many people, and this gift, as you indicated, will be a bridge for others to cross into a better life. President Capilotto talked about Mr. Gatton being a tough negotiator. I want to tell you about another tough negotiator. I'm going to read a statement he read, President Capilotto read, and I'll add to it. When he said nearly 2 years ago, Danny Dunn pulled his chair up close to mine in a conversation at the Maxwell House. I did pull my chair up to close to him, probably closer than he wanted me to be. And he went on to say, he challenged me to consider something transformational, something big and bold, that would extend Mr. Gatton's dream of one university becoming even a greater university. I asked President Capilotto to dream big. Now, I want to tell you the rest of the story. He only told you part of it. My presentation to him was that the foundation would commit to $50 million for a big gift, that we would match another $50 million. That would make the total gift $150 million, $100 million from the foundation, from the Bill Gatton Foundation, and $50 million from other private donors. This started about 2 years ago, as he indicated. We've had discussions over those 2-year period. 2 months ago in October, we had another meeting with President Capilouto, where he reviewed this plan for an arts district. And it did look bold, and it did look transformational, and it did look expensive. As he was sharing his thoughts, I sat there thinking, I can't help myself. I've taken on so much of some of Mr. Gatton's ways and thinking. I kept thinking, what's this going to cost? I only said $100 million. And so finally, after some discussion, I finally asked the question, President, what's the cost? He looked me in the eye in a way that he can only do, and he said, Danny, my request is more than you proposed 2 years ago. You asked me to dream big, and the amount we need from the Bill Gatton Foundation is $150 million to make this arts district work. I know my eyes got wide. And my response back to him was, well, I did ask you to dream big. And so here we are. The foundation has made a commitment for the $150 million. My meeting that I had 2 years ago with President Capilouto was driven by the spirit of Bill Gatton. This significant gift was not only to honor Mr. Gatton's legacy, but perhaps in this case, even more importantly, it was to honor another man, and that is Eli Capilouto. I've been on a 10-day vacation out west, visiting a son and his family in Utah. I learned midweek last week, early last week, that this meeting, that the President invited me to be at this meeting. And of course, I want to be here. And I told him, absolutely, I will be here. He had wanted me to share a few thoughts. Due to that vacation, I had no real time to focus on those thoughts, other than to just think about them from time to time. I flew into Cincinnati yesterday. My wife went ahead and she flew to Tennessee. I drove over here last night and met with the President for a few minutes, and that was a very delightful experience for me. This morning, I was putting some thoughts together, but they just weren't coming, and you all have probably had those kind of experiences. I was in the surgical building in a little conference room, and there's a window in that room, and I got up and walked over to the window, and I looked out the window across campus. And I said, on my mind and my heart, Mr. Gatton, what do you want me to say? He responded to me in this way, and he said, Danny, I want you to say, thank you, President Capilouto, for your unselfish, your wise, your compassionate leadership and service to my University of Kentucky. You are my friend. And thank you to Mary Lynn, and I know she's watching. And these thoughts came as I looked out that window. Thank you, Mary Lynn, for your unwavering support for your husband. I know this was a team effort, and the two of you have sacrificed with great love for the university, the Commonwealth, and its people. Thank you all for allowing me to be here and to share these thoughts.
Thank you, Danny, for your generous and kind remarks. Mr. Chairman, PR3 is a recommendation that the Board of Trustees accept a charitable grant totaling $150 million from the Bill Gatton Foundation to provide capital support for the benefit of and to establish a new arts district in the University of Kentucky, on the University of Kentucky's campus in Lexington, Kentucky. The grant would represent the single largest gift in the history of the University of Kentucky.
Do I have a motion to approve PR3? It's been moved by Trustee Case, seconded by Trustee Vance. The floor is open for discussion. Any comments, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of PR3 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Mr. President, PR3 passes unanimously.
Thank you.
So thank you. We now conclude the live stream. We appreciate all who joined us virtually to share in the announcement of this historic and transformative gift. We will now continue with the remainder of our agenda. Moving on to Chair's report, as a point of personal privilege, I would like to share that I had the great honor, as did at least one other in this room on this board, of serving on the board with Mr. Bill Gatton. He certainly provided an exciting and more fiery time to our board meetings, and one of the most special moments of my life was picking him up in